Welcome to Chicks and Tips. I'm Jo.
I'm Emily.
And today we're going to be talking about how to fuel and hydrate for adventures, for endurance events, for running, for hiking. We get a lot of people coming in maybe not knowing where to start, or some people come in with a really clear idea of what they want and then they change their mind. So we thought it would be good to run through a few options for you. We've just started stocking Precision. So we're going to use that as an example for today. So we have a few, we've got a few products here. They stock a big range. So we just wanted to give a little rundown, and then I was going to ask Em some questions about her experience as she is fueling a lot at the moment for a big event coming up, Spectacle 100K. So just to kick off, there are so many different types and brands out there. There's a huge number of brands from Goo, Tailwind, Pure, Precision. And there's lots of different types of ways to fuel. So there's energy drinks with powders or tablets that you can put in your water. There's energy gels. There's the chews. And then there's capsules that you can just take as well. So there's so much out there.
So much.
I know. So I guess a really good place to start is if you're not used to using stuff like this, and you might be doing like a big event for the first time or going on a big hike and you're not quite sure where to start, like what would you say to someone getting started?
Okay, well, I guess if we just go back to like a good practice for everybody, like you're thinking about, okay, you're going to go do a trip, you want to work out how long it is, how much effort it's going to be, like, so yeah, get that like established in your head first. But one of the things to just start with straight away would be pre-hydrating before any kind of activity that you do. So anything that is like, you're going to be putting a bit of effort into, or it could be an hour and a half, it could be, longer. You want to be pre-hydrating. So the night before, you want to be making sure that you get some sodium and some like electrolyte, like get your levels in your body quite high. So the night before you want to do that. This is a 500 ml. Is it 500? This is 300. So basically, if you used a 500 ml bottle of water and put in for the for the Precision tablets, they've got like a 1500. This is a 500, but you can get a 1500 packet of this. You want to put one of these tablets into that 500 mils of water and drink it the night before. The next morning when you get up, you want to do that same thing again within 90 minutes of starting. So like leave at least 45 minutes before, just so you don't have to go to the toilet straight away. So that's the pre-hydrating thing that you could do. And if you do that the night before and the morning of an activity, you're already giving your body a huge advantage of not getting dehydrated, because it's all about getting your sodium levels right, and making sure that there's enough sodium in your body that the water levels are going to be right.
And I think a lot of people think about taking stuff when they're exercising, but they don't think about before and what they might need to do to prepare their body before they go. So if you're doing an activity that's like under an hour and a half, you may not even need to drink anything if you do that the night before and the morning of, because you're already so hydrated. If it's really, really hot, that rule probably isn't going to apply. You're probably going to need to keep sipping on something that still has an electrolyte in it. But you probably can get away with it if it's less than an hour and a half. Because there's a few different types. So you've got things that are just electrolytes, you've got ones that are carbs and electrolytes, and then you've got ones that are just carbs. So why are there so many different
Why is the
options?
So you've really got to separate like the carbohydrates and the electrolyte components of it to start with, which isn't always the case, because there is like obviously fuels that you can buy that have both. But just looking at it separately for a second, you want to be making sure that you're hitting like a 60 gram mark of carbohydrates an hour. So if you're doing a really, really long activity, you're going to want to make sure that you're hitting that 60 grams of carbohydrates an hour. And if you're a bigger person and you are like maybe doing like really, 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 really steep stuff or fast stuff, you might even be looking at up to 90 but 60 is kind of a rule. Like that's kind of keep it simple. So that would be.
Sounds quite a lot.
It does sound quite a lot. So that would be like 2 of these gels. So 1 every half an hour would give you your 60 grams of carbohydrates. And then, or you could just use 1 of these 60 gram bars. Or there's, like, I'm using Precision as the example because it's really, really defined, but there's obviously, we can cross this over into any kind of nutrition that you can buy. But we're just using this for example today.
And the chew bars, we tried these yesterday and they taste really good.
They're really yum.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Yeah. And then every hour, if it's not hot, you want to be at least having, this is a 500 ml bottle.
Yeah.
You want to at least be having 500 mils of water with about 500 mils of sodium in it. So which would again would be 1 of these tablets. Yeah. And that's every hour, but if it's really hot, you're probably doubling that to a litre. So you'd have 2 of these. Yeah. So that's, if you make that like quite a simple rule, 60 grams of carb an hour and 500 mils of water plus some electrolytes in it, which would be easy if you just put a tablet, then that keeps it quite a simple formula to apply.
Yeah, that's true. And some people want to just use like one product for their electrolytes and their carbs, and some people like to separate it out to be able to manage, am I taking the amount of carbs that I need versus the amount of electrolytes. So I guess there's no right or wrong, it's just working out what you like.
Yeah, because some people aren't going to have time to chew, like they just want to drink all their hydration and nutrition. So that's like where something like Tailwind's great, because you're not really meant to eat anything with that. You just drink everything. Like you drink the carbs, you drink your electrolytes. Yeah. Whereas with this you can separate it out, and it's also going to, like, if you're going on a hike, like you're totally going to want to take real food. So you don't need to take like gels and but if you're going on a run,
take chocolate and nuts.
You can take whatever you want. Yeah, and as long as
chips.
you've got your electrolyte sodium things sorted, you're totally fine. But if you're doing a trail run, well then obviously you want to simplify what you're carrying and get things in and know exactly what you're getting as well, especially if it's like an ultra or something. Yeah.
And I think it's really good when you're new as well, just to try out lots of different product types, because some people love just having like a tab or a powder that they can quickly mix up. Some people don't like using the powders because it's like a bit messy. Some people don't like chewing, like when you're running, like actually having something to chew just can't swallow it very easily. So there's so many different ways to consume what you need. Is always good to try out the different types out there before you actually need it on the day, and it becomes like the most important thing. And then also with the taste as well, like there's so many different flavors. These are all quite mild flavors, but some of the Tailwinds, like can be quite strong, some of the tastes.
It's quite flavored, so you want to make sure you really like it.
You do.
Or mix it up. So
get making sure you're like trying mix, if it's a powder you're mixing up or a tablet, that you are putting the right amount of water with it, you're not taking it too strong, for example. And that you're testing that out before the event day. Like some products, so I find like sit better on my stomach than others, and so you don't want to risk that on the day of your event and it not sitting well on your stomach.
You know that a lot of the time too, it's because you are overdosing on too many carbohydrates. And the sugar amounts. That's why it's so important, if you are going to use like a lot of these products, that you really do figure out the right amounts so that you're not going to give yourself the shits. Or like get really bad cramp. I've done it to myself, and I've realized how easy it is to overdose on these things. Like we just get really bad crampy tummy. I think I had that in the spectacle last year, remember? I forgot I'd had Tailwind, and then I had a gel, and next thing I was like, and if it wasn't for you, you're like, oh, you got me through. But so it is really important to make sure that you are figuring out how much of this stuff should I have, because you don't want to have too much.
And I think that's what's good about Precision. I mean, it's in the name. It's to make it as precise as possible, which means there is a lot of science behind it, and you've got to really think about how far you're going and what that intensity is, how hot it is, how much you're going to sweat, and then choose the combination of fuel that works for those environments. So it could be different every time you go out for a run, depending on what that is. Precision also have their electrolyte tablets. They have a 500, 1,000 and a 1,500. So that might not mean that much to you, but if you start looking into it, it's like how much are you sweating, how much sodium needs replacing. So if you're like not too sweaty, the 500s can be quite a good option, or it's not that hot. But then if you're going to an environment where it gets really hot, you might need to have an 1,000, which will give you more sodium replenishment, or the 1,500 if you are a really big sweater, or it's a really long event, or it's going to be really really humid where you are. Then there's a few different ways that you can get exactly what you need, but you do have to do a little bit more research.
Yeah.
And there's a few things that you can use to try and help you work that out as well. So obviously trial and error and try things out yourself. But if you do like getting into the science and the nitty gritty, then Precision have got so many resources on their website that you can look at. They've got like a sweat loss calculator so that you can actually calculate how much sweat you might lose, therefore how much electrolyte and sodium replenishment you might need. You can book a 20-minute call with them to tell them what you're doing, and they can help you find the right products for you, which is really cool. And then they've got a fuel planner, so you can kind of select what you're doing, and then it will give you a range of options. So that could be quite helpful to get started. And then, so we talked about pre, and then during, we've talked about during exercise, getting what you said, the 60
and 1,000
grams. But then what about after you've exercised? And we didn't touch on that.
Yeah, well, it said to again, like 500 mils with a 1,500 of one of these, just sip on that after, and that's going to mean it again gets your sodium levels right and really rehydrates you, which is, I don't do this enough. And it, like, I know I need to, because I think you should, like, ultimately if you're fueled properly throughout whatever activity you're doing, you shouldn't be too low. But just to make sure, like 500 mils of water and one of these tablets will go a long way. Like that will really help, just like make sure you're not going to get dehydrated, going to not have the headaches, and really just feel your best. Yeah.
Because if you get like headaches and feel quite confused or a bit nauseous after, it's often due to not having enough sodium in your body. That's really important to make sure we get that and listen to your body, of what your body's telling you. Like, I'm really craving some salt right now. Probably need to do that, and have like a real nice high protein meal as well to help muscle recovery.
Getting some carbs and that into you straight away is really important too.
Awesome.
Cool. They also, Precision also do like a 300 gram carb, like that's a huge thing of gel. So if you're someone who's going to need to carry a lot of gels, that can be really handy, because you can then put it into this thing, and just like, it's got a measurement on the back, so you can be giving yourself exactly what you need as you go. Obviously it's all of the same flavor, and you've got to but it's quite a neutral flavor, so
but that's quite cool though, isn't it? Instead of taking a singular gel or like 5 of these, you could decant this and not be using so much packaging.
Totally.
As well. And then they also have the electrolyte capsules if you prefer just to take a little cap. Which is quite a good option to have as well.
But just if anyone's like interested, come in and discuss it with us, or give us a call as well. Like, we'd be happy to kind of help you through it now that we're skilled up a bit more.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. I hope that was useful and have some good takeaways there for you, and come have a chat with us. All right, bye.